Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to Pop Sports, or welcome back to Pop Sports, whichever it is for you. If you're new with us, welcome to the channel. We are glad to have you, glad to know you. Please, let me know if there's something you want us to look at. Right now, though, let's talk basketball. Because we're just getting into the seasons real good, just getting everything kicked up real good. So we're going to look at some stats, see where everybody stands right now, and see what we're going to be looking at this season, what we think. So let me know what you think down in the comments when we get done. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you and appreciate you being here. And we'll talk football later this week. We're digging into almost playoff time in that. So let's talk some college ball. We got women's college ball here. AP Top 25 as of right now, right? At the top, South Carolina 4-0. UConn 3-0 at number 2. Number 3 USC at 4-0. 4 Texas at 3-0, and 5 UCLA at 4-0. Okay, South Carolina, I get it, absolutely. UConn's always in there. USC, Texas, UCLA. Okay. That's a bit different at the top right now. But we'll see where it goes as we go through the season. Some teams that are usually in, at the top of the levels right now are not up there right now, and I can't wait to see where we go to see how they do as we go through the season, to bring themselves up to that level again. But South Carolina and UConn, yeah, you definitely see them at the top right now. Number 6, Notre Dame. 7 LSU, both at 4-0. 8 Iowa State, 4-0. 9 Oklahoma, 3-0. And 10 Kansas State, 3-0. Hey, you got some teams that are undefeated right now, and that's going to change real quick as we go through the season. We all know that, right? But I can see definitely, Notre Dame, Iowa State, Kansas State. Yeah, absolutely. LSU, I'm a little surprised to see them that high, but that's good. That's great. Oklahoma, same way. I'm kind of surprised to see them that high, but that's great. I'm glad for them right now. But we'll see as we go through the season, as I said. 11, Maryland. Well, I can definitely. Okay, they're 5-0. I don't know why they're not higher, but we'll have to watch that as well. 12, Ohio State. 13, West Virginia. 14, Duke. There's one of those that you would usually see higher in the rankings, right? Duke. And Kentucky, same way at 15. Duke's 4-1, though. So they've already had a loss. Kentucky 4-0. West Virginia 4-0, Ohio State 3-0, and Maryland 5-0. Okay, cool. Then we got North Carolina at 16, Ole Miss 17, Baylor at 18, TCU at 19, and NC State at 20. And NC State's a bit of a shocker down there too, way down at 20. TCU 4-0, 19. I can see that. Baylor 3-1, Ole Miss 2-1, and North Carolina 3-1. North Carolina's a bit of a shocker too. Interesting. 21, Nebraska. All right, cool. 4-0. 22, Illinois 3-0. 23, Oregon 4-0. 24, Alabama 6-0. I don't know why they're not ranked higher. I don't know, maybe some close games or what have you. I don't know yet. And then Louisville at 25 at 2-2. So, had Iowa receiving votes, Michigan State, Vanderbilt, Stanford, Florida State, Miami, Tennessee, South Dakota State, and Richmond. And Stanford got dropped from ranks this week. So, yeah, we're going to have to watch and see where the season goes in women's ball. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. and we'll be updating as we go through the season on a weekly basis, okay? Now, let's jump into the men's standings and see where we're at. No, we don't want an NBA yet. Let's jump into the men's and see where we're at with that, because we're, as I said, we're just getting into the season real good, so we don't know yet, right? Kansas at number 1. Well, that's not a huge surprise. Kansas is a big basketball school, so UConn at number 2. That's not a huge surprise either. Gonzaga, Auburn, Iowa State. Auburn, I'm a little surprised to see up there. Iowa State as well, really and truly. Purdue, not a huge surprise at 6. Houston 7, 2-1. Alabama 3-1 at number 8. Kentucky at number 9, 3-0. That's a shocker. And North Carolina same way, 2-1. That's a bit of a shocker at 10. Interesting. Interesting start there. Have to see where it goes. Your big schools are down a little bit right now. Kentucky, big basketball schools I'm talking about. Those that are usually ranked in the, top 5. North Carolina at 10. Tennessee at 11. North Carolina at 2-1. Ooh, Tennessee at 4-0. Duke. See, there's another one down. 3-1. Baylor, number 13, 3-1. Creighton, 4-0 at 14. And Marquette at 15 at 4-0. Interesting. Okay. See where that goes too, because Creighton's usually ranked a little higher too. 16, Indiana, 3-0. Arizona at 17, 2-1. Cincinnati at 18, interesting, 3-0. 19, Wisconsin, and 20, Arkansas, 4-0 and 2-1. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a very wild start, right? Now, this is the AP poll. Of course, coach's poll is a little bit different, but not a lot, to be honest, for what I'm looking at here. Not a lot at all. Not a huge difference. What we have? 21, Florida, 4-0. St. John's at 22, 4-0. Texas A&M at 3-1 at number 23. Rutgers at 3-0 at 24, and Illinois at 3-0 at 25. Interesting. Illinois jumping in for the first time to the AP this year. Well, okay, we're going to have to keep an eye on basketball, because that's interesting. Some of the teams you usually see right there at the top, like North Carolina, Duke, teams like that are usually right up there at the top of the list are down a bit right now. So we'll have to see where that goes. Gonzaga, not a surprise at 3, though, and, things like that. Kentucky at 9. That's a bit of a surprise. North Carolina, Duke, Marquette. Yeah. So, interesting. Well, let's see who's balling this year in the NBA. As of right now, Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference, which is cool, 15-0. Jesus. I mean, they're running the table right now. Celtics right behind them at 11-3. The Magic at 9-6. Knicks at 8-6. And the Hawks at 7-8. Well, the Hawks are falling a little bit there, aren't they? And then Miami Heat at 6-7. Detroit 7-9. Indiana 6-8. Chicago at 6-9. And Charlotte at 5-8. Well, that's very peculiar and interesting, some of those. Cleveland, I'm glad to see up there, though. Boston, not a huge surprise to see them up there. Miami, a little surprising at 6, though. They should have won more games by now. Who we got next? Brooklyn. The Brooklyn Nets 5-9. Milwaukee Bucks 5-9. Toronto Raptors 3-12. Ooh. Sixers 2-11, and Washington Wizards 2-11. Ooh. Got to win some games there, gentlemen. All right, what we got in the Western Conference? Well, Oklahoma City Thunder at 11-3. I can see that. Golden State at 10-3. Lakers at 9-4. They're a bit behind too, aren't they? Rockets at 10-5. Suns at 9-6, and Denver at 7-5. Yeah. Couple of surprises there, aren't there? Memphis Grizzlies 8-6. Timberwolves 8-6. Clippers 8-7. Kings 8-7. Very interesting. Well, and then the Dallas Mavs at 7-7. San Antonio at 6-8. Trailblazers at 6-8. Pels at 4-10. They got to win some games too. They got to really pull off some games here. And the Jazz at 3-10. They got to pull some games too, big time. Okay, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on this as we go, y'all. Tell me what you think right now, and if you think they've got the rankings wrong right now, let me know. But from what I see, Oklahoma City and Cleveland are really got their games up right now. So, yeah. We'll have to see where it goes. Listen, y'all let me know what you think. If you think somebody else should be at the top besides Cleveland and Oklahoma City. Yeah. And tell me where you think the games are going to go and who's going to be there at the end. I'd love to know. And we will get to it as we go. Stick with us. We got football later this week. We'll be talking about the NCAA and the NFL. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on the games here to see where we go. And the standings. I know we're early in the season yet, but yeah, we'll see where we go. All right? I hope y'all have a fantastic day. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this. Love good sports. Good ball. Looks like Cleveland and them are playing good ball, so let's see where we go from here. All right? Y'all have a great day. This is Old Pops. I will see you later. We are out.